Hello, international students. I'm Connor Blay, and thank you so much for joining our live stream. Today, we're on here to talk about finding your academic home at one of the top universities in the Midwest United States, Northwest Missouri State University. Northwest is in Maryville, Missouri, and is ranked number 24 among the top public schools in the Midwest region, according to U.S. News and World Report. Northwest takes pleasure in providing quality education at a low cost in a safe environment for international students. So we have three special guests lined up for you today in our stream. Dr. Phil Hull is the director of the International Involvement Center at Northwest. Sneha Oja, Northwest international student and undergraduate computer science major. And Christian Dixon, he is a Northwest domestic undergraduate social studies education major. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring our special guests into our stream. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to have you guys here today. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Yep, I'm doing well as well. Welcome everybody. Glad to have you aboard, and we're looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, so we're really glad to have you guys joining us today to talk about Northwest. And everything that makes that an ideal place for international students. So I have a few questions for you guys, and then we're going to go ahead and get to our viewer questions afterwards. So if any of you guys have questions throughout the live stream, just go ahead and send them in the comments, and we'll do our best to get to them after the interview portion. Without further ado, let's get to the first question. So this is going to be for you guys, Christian and Sneha. Start off by saying what makes Northwest such a great place for international students?
Okay, so I'm gonna start by answering that question. So I'm just gonna speak on behalf of my personal experience as an international student in Northwest. I feel like we have a very welcoming community who accepts you for who you are and you as an individual. And I feel like I've seen just like a lot of like people are very friendly, very welcoming, very supportive, they're very nice. Like when I first came to America, I first went to New York where my mom lives. And people there not so friendly, not so nice. They do not care about you at all. And then from me to coming from New York to Maryville, Missouri, a small college town, it was like a very big difference for me. And I feel like one of the biggest reason why I stayed here and continue going to school in Northwest is because of the community we have here in Maryville and as a Bearcats.
Awesome. So, Christian, how about you?
Well, I don't know strictly for international students because I am a domestic student, but I can kind of speak to how great Northwest is for any student, domestic or international. And I think that's just really because Northwest is concerned with their students as people as well as students. They don't only look out for you in your academic success, but also your own personal growth, physically, cognitively, spiritually, emotionally. They have so many different programs set in for your professional growth. They really look ahead towards the future and saying, hey, you're coming here, you're getting a degree, you need a job, we're going to help you with that. We're going to help you, just kind of build those skills that you need. And so that's been really helpful to me, knowing that I can come to university that is invested in me as a human being, in addition to just being a student. So, yeah.
And one thing I'll interject here, Christian, he mentioned that he's not an international student, but he comes from a very small rural community in kind of north central Missouri. And Sneha, she mentioned, being in New York with her mom and also, of course, being from Nepal, and very different backgrounds in terms of the types of places that they grew up. But I think one of the things that they're certainly emphasizing is that, we're able to bring students together who have those diverse experiences, those diverse backgrounds, and they come together and they form this wonderful community that is Northwest, whether you're from a small town, a large city, somewhere in the United States, somewhere else, another part of the world. So that's a really special thing about this place, I think.
Yeah, that's really special to have that kind of community. All right, awesome. So for Sneha, this question is for you. Can you just talk about like what your favorite experience has been so far as an international student?
So far as an international student, I would say homecoming by far the best experience ever, because back in my country we do not have homecoming. So we don't have anything homecoming related. And my first year in Northwest, I had to ask my friends what homecoming actually was. And then later on I found out one of the best thing ever. Oh my God, the whole town of Maryville literally comes together to celebrate homecoming in Maryville, Missouri, or with Northwest students and stuff. And last year, I was able to raise my flag in one of the homecoming events, that flag raising ceremony, which happens in Walkout Day, hosted by International Women's Center. And I was lucky enough to be the one who was raising flag of my country, Nepal. And that is one of the best experience I've ever had. Like, I will never forget that. It was an honor.
Yeah. And Sneha, do we only raise your flag during?
No.
Okay.
We have, I do not know. I do not know the exact number, because we kind of added a few more flags last year. So we have like
about
over
60. I think it's about 60. Yeah.
Yeah, like 60 different flags from 60 different countries, which represent 60 different, like, let's say Bearcat all over the world. So like if we have a Bearcat from a new country, we add flag each year, or like in coming years. So
yeah, it really is a special moment. Yeah,
that's incredible. Yeah. Definitely. So Christian, I'm curious to know, as a domestic student, how do you interact with international students on Northwest campus, and how do other domestic students interact with international students?
So Phil stole my thunder just a little bit. It's fine.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I am from a town of about 2,000 people, Hamilton, Missouri. Go Hornets. I grew up in a high school of about 200 kids. Everybody, had pretty similar upbringings, ethnicities, religious preferences, socioeconomic statuses. So, I was able to learn about the world through school, but I wasn't able to like experience it, and experience these different cultures and these different, upbringings until I came to Northwest. And, Maryville is a pretty small college town, but I've met people from all over the world. I have friends from Nepal, India, Greece, Brazil, South Korea, all over the world, and so as a domestic student, I really appreciate getting to sit over in our Bearcat Commons or in Starbucks and just talking with these people, and hearing their perspectives of the world. And it helps me, grow as a person and give back to, our planet, and just grow in knowledge and in understanding and things like that. So I really appreciate that Northwest creates that environment for me to be able to do that. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's why international students are so important to have on campus. I think it creates such a great community. So I have another question for both of you. Sneha, you can answer this one first. What's it like being in a classroom at Northwest? Are the classes taught by professors, and are they usually small or large?
So classes, when I first, I think when I first started going to class, like as a freshman, I had like few problems grasping like how to be in an American class, like because I have never been in one before. And the schools and classes back in my country is so different. Like we had like 40 students packed in one class, and like not enough time for teachers to give attention and anything. And here classes are kind of smaller. Like it's like classes are built in such a way that your professor can actually give you time to answer your questions and everything, and make sure that everybody is learning. And classes are like not too big, especially my major classes. They have not been like bigger than like 30 students at all. And classes are really fun. Professors are really nice. They really want you to succeed and really want you, they really want you to do better in classes. The thing is, you have to ask for help if you're struggling, which I did my freshman year. I was at this one point, I was like, computer science is so hard. I don't know if I want to change my major or not. And then I had set up an appointment with my advisor right away, and 30 minutes appointment with my advisor, and I was back and good, ready to be a computer science major and just go out and do better. So I feel like the professor actually are concerned and like do want you to do better and stuff. which is one of the best part about Northwest. They actually care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian?
My turn? Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm a student ambassador, so I give tours of campus. I know quite a bit about the classrooms. So yeah, like I mentioned, small high school, 200 kids. So I was actually surprised that a lot of my classes here at Northwest are smaller than the ones that I had in high school. So the average class size in Northwest is 27, and that's just across the board, if you factor in the bigger and smaller classes. Northwest only has 3 lecture halls. We've got 1 in Colden Hall, 2 in Garrett Strong. Those are only going to be for like the undergraduate classes that everybody has to take. So like a biology class, psychology, something like that. Once you get into your, like Sneha said, the more major specific classes, they're going to shrink. And the benefit of that is you're going to be seeing the same people, having the same professors. So you're going to kind of build that rapport with other people, kind of get your name out there. I've had a class as small as 9 before. So that was really fun to be able to work with my students and the teacher, the professor, in that way. And the professors all teach the classes. There are no graduate assistants, that teach, save maybe like a lab class like biology. But all of your classes, especially specifically the major classes, are going to be by professors. And the benefit of that also as well, they're all going to have office hours that, like Sneha said, if you have any questions, you can always walk in. They're going to have an office in the building that they teach. So, it's always going to be right there for you. So Northwest really thought ahead on that, getting invested with the student and professional relationships. So.
And one thing I'll interject here, I know Sneha and Christian have mentioned some of the buildings on campus. He mentioned Colden Hall, Garrett Strong. We have an administration building. We do have a place on our website. We've got a virtual tour, but even better than the virtual tour is an interactive map. And that actually lets you go inside some of the buildings. You won't see students in the classroom spaces, but you'll see the classroom space itself. You can actually sort of digitally walk into a dorm room and see what they look like. And so you can, being maybe 7,000, 8,000 miles away, you can still experience campus life. We also have something that we initiated with the advent of COVID, where students like yourselves can log on and you can set up a chat with a professor or a chat with a student. And so you can do something like this, but more one-on-one with some of the people who go to school here, teach here. So those are some really excellent tools that will enable you to explore campus life and see what we have here at Northwest. And then also sort of lift the veil of mystery of, well, what's Garrett Strong? What's Colden Hall? What's the admin building? Where's the library? Things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I always enjoyed the classes that were more, small and like tight knit and discussion based. So that's great. I'm sure a lot of people prefer that style. So Phil, the next question is for you. So you're the director of the International Student Involvement Center at Northwest, and you offer some excellent services. What services are offered, and how will international students benefit from them?
Well, one of the things I would interject with first is that, and it kind of draws on what Sneha and Christian have been talking about the sense of community here. And while the International Center offers a lot of services, I think as students, what you will find is that the faculty and also the support services, whether it's academic support, financial support, career services, library services, we're all here to serve students. And so it's not like our International Center is a one-stop shop for everything. You won't come here for academic advising. You will go to your academic advisor in your major program department. Have somebody like Sneha was talking about. I sat down with my advisor, talked through some things, worked things out. That wasn't here in the International Center. That was elsewhere on campus. Likewise, when you're ready to get a job or if you're looking for an internship, you go to Career Services. You don't come to the International Center for that. However, we will support you when you are looking for an internship. We'll help you with the the CPT, Curricular Practical Training paperwork. After you graduate and are looking for a job, we will help you with OPT. We will assist you with, if you need to update your address so that you are in compliance with your visa, we will assist you with that. We also have a full new international student orientation program. We invite international students to come to campus about a week before classes begin, because there's certain things that are special to the international student population that are different from domestic students. And so we get you on board, we get you moved in. For example, we pick you up at the airport. That's part of our orientation program. First time, we don't charge you extra for that service. We help get you into your residence hall, get you settled in, help you get over jet lag, and then get you ready to start classes in the fall. We do help with some advising. If maybe you're having some issues or you don't, maybe in classes or roommate, we help facilitate some of those things and make sure that we steer you in the right direction to take care of those things. We also take care of you after you graduate. So we continue to work with you on OPT. If you decide that you want to stay in the United States and work after you graduate. And we also have been continuing to work on our international alumni network. So we do kind of continue to keep you in the Bearcat family, I guess, as a lot of people on campus say. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I have one more question for you, Phil. If you guys have any questions, be sure to send them in the comments. We're going to answer your questions right after this. So does Northwest offer any scholarships to international students? And if so, can you tell us about those?
We do, and I'm going to start with, we do have 2 undergraduate students with us today, but Northwest offers not only undergraduate programs, we have over 125 of those. We also offer master's programs. We do not have PhD programs, no doctoral programs, but we do have master's programs. 2 of our master's programs, the Masters of Applied Computer Science, and then also the Masters of Information Systems, they have a one-term $500 scholarship. We did go to a flat rate tuition model for all of our graduate programs, and what we did is we got rid of all of our scholarshiping for master's programs, and what that did is it lowered significantly the out-of-state international tuition piece, and it actually raised our Missouri resident cost. And so so you won't see significant scholarshiping like we have at the undergraduate level. But for undergrads, we have scholarships for international students that are basically the same as what we offer our domestic students. And the first is called the Northwest International Achievement Scholarship. And what that will do, since we are a public university, we have in-state or resident tuition. So Christian, because he is a Missouri resident, he pays in-state tuition, and that is about half of our out-of-state rate. But if you have an English proficiency score that is higher than our minimum requirement, then you will automatically get the NIAS or in-state Missouri tuition discount. That will save you about half on tuition, and you can keep that scholarship for all 4 years as long as you keep your grades up. And Neha, I believe you are an NIAS scholar, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah.
And so that saves a lot of money. On average, that's about close to $7,000 a year in savings. And then the second award that we offer is called the Northwest Merit Scholarship. And that ranges between $1,000 and $4,000. And that's based on a combination of either the SAT or ACT score and then your high school GPA, your high school marks. So we take both of those into consideration. And depending on where you fall in chart that we have, we automatically award that scholarship to you. Now, it's important to note that we do not require, for international students, we do not require you to submit an SAT or ACT score, only if you want to be considered for that merit scholarship. And you also do not need to fill out a separate application for those scholarships. We award those automatically to you based on the application materials that you send in.
Great.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, Phil.
I guess the last thing I will say is that the total cost, what we call the I-20 cost, it is comprehensive. We do have, as part of our fees, a laptop rental program. So all of our students, graduate or undergraduate, get laptops at the beginning of the school year. There's a 3-year cycle on that, so you're not going to get a laptop that's 10 years old. Okay, it's not on its last legs. Also, our IT support team, they will help troubleshoot anything if you have problems.
I lost Phil.
Do you want me to finish up the idea with the laptops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that program?
Yeah, the laptops, like Phil was saying, are included in tuition. We are on the last cycle of the current laptops that we have. So this fall, we'll be getting new laptops, like he said, 3-year rotation. The IT department's outstanding. They will fix the laptop. Usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And they don't always charge you if it's something that's not, your fault. If you just kind of wake up one day and the screen's not turning on, anything like that, it's free of charge. And you're never going to lose your laptop privileges. You'll always be able to get a replacement. And that's something that's really cool about Northwest is that, you don't have to go and spend, $3,000 on a laptop to be able to get the best out of your, college experience. All the professors have the same style of laptop, so you're not going to have to worry about, getting files lost in the formatting and things like that. So yeah, Northwest, again, kind of was ahead of the curve on that one and figured it out. So.
And I feel like one of the other best part is textbooks are included in your tuition, so you don't have to buy them, and they are super expensive. So, yeah, which is very nice.
Yes,
that is very nice. I have to say, I paid for both those things. But Phil is back with us, so we're gonna bring him back in here. Sorry about that, Phil.
Yeah, no, not a problem. I think Facebook was saying you're not as interesting as the students and you're talking too long, so about boring stuff, but it's important. So yeah,
they answered that great. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our viewer questions. We got a few. Keep on sending them in if you have questions. So the first question is from Sergi, and they ask, will there be any classes in relation to the COVID situation? I guess, what are you guys doing because of the situation is what the question is.
Do either one of you want to take that? Do you know where we're sitting? Or okay, why don't you go ahead, Christian?
So the plan for the fall, we will be back on campus with classes. If things take a turn, and there's a spike in cases, I'm certain that the professors here on campus are equipped to be able to take them online, because we do have an online class service through it's called Canvas. But Northwest has already been taking precautions. I've been on campus a couple times this summer. They're kind of redirecting the flow of traffic, so that way just kind of reduce the amount of contact. Go in this door, go out this door. They have hand sanitizing stations everywhere. Masks are going to be required in all of the buildings just to kind of reduce the possibility of transmission, things like that.
And all of our students will be getting masks.
Getting masks, yes, that's
when they pick up their laptops. So
of course,
yeah.
But so yeah, we will be on campus. We have a lot of space in our classroom, so I'm absolutely certain that they'll be utilizing that extra space to do that. So
and one of the things I'll say that's kind of special for international students. Now we're at August 5th now. We had extended our deadline for new student enrollment for fall to the 31st of July. If any of you are out there and you have already applied to Northwest, been accepted or are close to being accepted, you can take what we call web-based courses, so online courses remotely in your home country. And we will assist with that advising process that will allow you the opportunity to get started on your program of study as an undergraduate, and then hopefully join you in the fall. The other thing is we don't know yet because, who knows how things are going to look a month or two down the line. But if things change, we may extend that opportunity for the spring if it seems that we need to continue going in that direction. For graduate students, we have a one-course option. It's an elective course that is available for students who wish to begin a class either in the MS-IS program, the MS-ACS program, or the fully online Masters of Data Analytics. And that elective will apply to any of those programs. So then you can choose. And that application deadline, actually, if you want to start a master's program, you can apply up until the 18th of August as a non-degree seeking student, and then enroll in that single course, take that online in your home country, and then simply apply by November 1st for admission into one of those three programs. We're not offering that one course option for any of our other graduate programs, just for the ones in the IT area.
All right. Yeah, it's good to know that you guys are taking precautions during this time, and that's awesome. And offering accommodations as well.
Yeah.
So the next question I have is about tuition. What is the tuition fee budget excluding accommodation and meals? Probably, I'll start with you, Phil.
Okay. Just for clarification, do you know if it's undergraduate or graduate? I didn't.
The person didn't clarify whether it was undergraduate or graduate.
Okay.
So,
okay. Well, I'll talk about undergraduate first, and again, without any scholarships, the total cost, so tuition fees, which cover laptop, textbooks, all the on-campus activities and events, academic support, on-campus housing and meals, which is required for first-time freshmen, health insurance, and then the orientation and international student fees. That comes into at about $27,700 US. And then the tuition and fees portion of that, without any scholarships, is right around, I'm trying to do the math here in my head, but it's about $16,800. And again, if you get the scholarship, if you get the Northwest International Achievement, that total annual cost drops down to just below $21,000 US. And then if you get the merit scholarship on top of that, then the range of savings is between just under $17,000 to just under $20,000. And the other thing I would note is I said about the housing, that on-campus housing is required for first-year undergraduate students. After that, you may live off campus. Sneha and Christian, do you both live off campus now?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And off-campus housing is significantly less than on-campus housing. It's almost like getting another scholarship. You go to a big city, particularly a coastal city like New York City, or like where I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, you might pay $2,500 to $3,000 just for renting an apartment per month. At Northwest in Maryville, you can probably get by for an entire school year for housing, meals, utilities, your Wi-Fi, probably even your phone plan, for around $4,500, $4,000 to maybe just under $6,000 for the academic year. So you can see that cost difference. So you're saving about maybe $3,000 to $4,000 a year in your living expenses.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So the next question I have is probably for you, Christian and Sneha. What's the most unique thing that is different at Northwest than other universities?
I can go first.
Okay.
We have a lot of trees. I feel like our campus is the one which has the most number or amount of trees that is ever in other university or on campus area. Is it not true? It's true, right?
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
Yeah. Northwest
We have a
is
lot of trees on campus. A
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Northwest is the Missouri Arboretum. So you're going to find trees around here that you won't see for hundreds of miles. And it's super cool. Yeah, for sure. But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Were you going to say something else?
No,
Okay.
I was just going to mention that.
I can probably give two answers. I'll give kind of a silly answer and like a serious answer. So we have a lot of squirrels here on campus too, and they're just the most like chill. Like I don't know how else to describe them. Like I've seen people like in the noon rush to lunch, and there's just a squirrel just sitting in the middle of the sidewalk, not a care in the world. They'll run right by you. They'll sit there. It's just so funny because like I've been on other college campuses and like it's just not a thing there,
Yeah.
So just Northwest has like the best squirrels in the world.
And so many international students come from places where there are not squirrels.
Right.
And so this is the first time. I mean, Sneha, what did you do the first time you saw a squirrel on campus?
I was once first scared, but then later I just got too excited. I was like, oh my God, it's just like a lot of them and they're harmless and so cute.
Yeah. And you go around and you see domestic students doing this too, but not as much because they're familiar with squirrels. But you see a lot of international students either taking videos with their camera or they're snapping pictures, and it's really funny. So yeah, but yeah, the squirrels are definitely, and it makes sense because we have a lot of trees, and therefore we have a lot of squirrels. So okay, so now you're serious.
No serious answer. Okay, I gotta put you down.
Yeah.
But no, one service that Northwest offers are called SIs. They're student instructors. So I'm actually going to be an SI in the fall. And how it works here at Northwest is, we are students who have taken a class before. So in my case, it's American government because I'm a social studies ed major. So I took that class my freshman year. I got an A in that class. I got the best grade I could get. The professor came back and specifically asked me to be his SI. So I will get paid to sit in that class, take notes, take tests, basically take the class again. And then I hold special study sessions with the whole class, kind of being that liaison between the professor and the students, break things down in more understandable language, maybe highlight what the professor was really talking about. And Northwest, has this program, and they've done a lot of research on it. And it's one of those things, if a student takes advantage of these SI sessions and they attend 3 of them in a semester, they're going to average a half to whole letter grade higher than a student who doesn't take advantage of that. And that's something that is pretty unique to Northwest. I don't know. I have yet to hear of another school that does that program. So the fact that Northwest can, create that for students, super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's awesome that you're going to be a part of that. That's really cool, Christian. So we got one more question, and then we're going to wrap it up unless there are more questions that come in. But can I get credit and pay it after I finish my studies at the university during a number of years?
So I'm guessing kind of like a loan?
I'm guessing, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Can I get a credit and pay it after?
Okay. The answer to that would be no. So we do have the scholarships, but students are expected to you get billed every semester, every term that you take classes. So we don't bill. There are some schools out there, a lot of private schools, they might bill you at the beginning of the year for the entire year. But Northwest bills at the beginning of the fall semester, the spring semester, and also if you take summer classes, then you will get a bill for your summer term courses. And you're expected to pay that bill by the end of that term. And if you have a certain amount that you haven't paid, you won't be able to enroll in classes for the next term until you've paid that off. And so students and international students, one of the things that you have to do as part of the application process, not just at Northwest, but for any school in the United States, is you have to submit what's called a financial letter of support and also a bank statement. Sneha, do you want to explain that a little bit? Because of course you went through that in your application.
Yes. So part of the process when I was applying is that there is one of the condition that you have to fulfill, and which is like even in order to get the visa to come to the country, is you have to show that you have enough money to attend this university at least for a year or so. So like
for the first year.
Yep, your first
you
year.
don't have to show all 4 years, but
Mhm.
or for your entire program, but
Yeah, so like you have to either show like your properties or like your like parents' bank state, like whoever is like supporting you financially. So like that's a thing you have to do before you go for your visa interview. I think it's like required by the government rather than I would say even like universities especially.
Yep.
And
It's a U.S. federal government requirement.
it is a requirement. And I feel like if we do have installment programs, which kind of you don't have to pay your whole tuition like at the very beginning of the semester, you can break it down to like 4 installment plans and pay monthly, just like break down the cost and pay it like in a monthly basis too, which is very helpful.
Yeah. And so a lot of students, they may just like domestic students, although it's maybe a little bit different. Domestic students can take advantage of state or federal loan scholarship programs. International students cannot because they are not they're not citizens of the United States. And so, like Sneha said, you will have the bank statement, but you might also get a loan at a bank in your home country. And so it's that same process of kind of building together all the financial conduits, all the financial avenues to fund your education.
Perfect.
All
Thank
right.
you guys. That's awesome. So that's the time. That's all the time that we have today for our questions. But if you'd like to learn more about Northwest, please visit their profile, which we provided in our comment section. We provided the link for you. There will also be a request more information form on that profile. So if you want to get in touch with a Northwest representative, go ahead and fill that out and submit it. And thank you guys for joining us today. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you, Sneha, Christian, and Phil.
Yeah, thank you.
And have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.